We gather to celebrate the unity that binds us and honor the particularity that each of us brings to this sacred space. God hoped for justice, but behold injustice, for equity, but behold iniquity. A wise sage and prophet once said, "What actions are most excellent? To gladden the heart of a human being, to feed the hungry, to help the afflicted, to lighten the sorrow of the sorrowful, to remove the wrongs of the injured. That person is the most beloved of God, who does most good to God's creatures." All gathered here have the awesome and sacred responsibility to serve truth with faith and reason, continuing to grow in learning, understanding, and wisdom. May we all go out in joy and be led forth in peace. As another sage, the Buddha taught, may our thought manifest as word, our word manifest as deed, our deed become habit, and our righteous habit harden and continue to shape our character. Sing to life a new song, sing to life all creation, sing of compassion and temper your deeds with compassion. Let our worship be acts of beauty and holiness. May the Holy Spirit, the unity of all, guide us as we seek to heal and to nurture the earth and all of its creatures, to live in the midst of creation, to love one another as brothers and sisters with all life. And may we travel from this moment forward in awareness of our bonds to one another and to the earth, and in commitment to our communities wherever they might be. I invoke from my tradition sacred blessings upon this gathering. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace. We say, Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Amen.
Please be seated. This is a reading from Proverbs, subtitled Admission to Keep to the Right Path. Hear, my child, and accept my words, that the years of your life may be many. I have taught you the way of wisdom. I have led you in the paths of uprightness. When you walk, your step will not be hampered, and if you run, you will not stumble. Keep hold of instruction. Do not let go. Guard her, for she is your life. My child, be attentive to my words. Incline your ear to my sayings. Do not let them escape from your sight. Keep them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them and healing to all their flesh. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. Put away from you crooked speech, and put devious talk far from you. Let your eyes look directly forward, and your gaze be straight before you. Keep straight the path of your feet, and all your ways will be sure. Do not swerve to the right or to the left. Turn your foot away from evil.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a happy day. Welcome to Commencement at Davidson College. We are happy to have you here. I want especially to acknowledge President Emeritus John Kirkendall and Missy Kirkendall and the trustees and trustees emeriti who are present. I know I speak for all of our graduates. Yes. I know I speak for all of our graduates when I thank our fantastic staff who have made today so effortless for the rest of us. Nearly everyone who works at Davidson has had a hand in making this day possible. And these same people, the ones who built the stage, care for our campus, and manage logistics, these people are our partners every day. Their commitment to our students makes Davidson the educational experience that it is, and we truly thank them. The faculty are the heart of any institution of higher learning, and it is a great privilege to work beside these incredibly dedicated and brilliant people every day. On this day, we celebrate the service of members of the college who are retiring. Let me ask those who are present to stand so that we can express our thanks to the whole group after I have read all the names. Dave Kraus, 11 years. Brenda Daugherty, 12 years. Frank Sarge LaForgia, 16 years. Deb Rutkowski, 18 years. Vicki Ponder, 19 years. Vicki Sherrill, 23 years. Gail Fischel, 23 years. Nancy Dickens, 25 years. Linda Erickson, 26 years. Dwayne Souther, 28 years. Kim Sanderson, 28 years. Jan Poole, 28 years. Leslie Marsicano, 30 years. Bill Ringel, 33 years. Ruth Beeston, 35 years. Stephen Davis, 38 years. Denise Torrance, 44 years. Verna Case, 45 years. Jerry Putnam, 46 years. Frank Jacobus, 46 years. That's a lot of years of service to Davidson College. Please join me in thanking these folks. While Wendy Raymond is not retiring, she is leaving Davidson to become president of Haverford College. Please join me in thanking Wendy for her extraordinary service to Davidson. So, getting to this day is a big deal. You should all be really proud. And you've been incredibly fun to watch, most of the time. Over the past few years, you've turned your ideas, your friendships, your voices, and your bodies into compelling works of art. On the stage and on the canvas, online and in the street, in the lab, the library, the union, on the track, the field, the court, the course, and in the pool. You've started businesses, cooked for hungry neighbors, found jobs for refugees. You've taught children to read in English and Spanish, and you've connected high school students to mentors who share their passions. Every person who attended the first ever Verna symposium now thinks differently about the world and what is possible in it. When future students at Davidson walk the path to the farm, join a Latinx fraternity, get groceries from Lulabelle's, experience the NPHC plots, or take a Jewish studies course, they will be standing on your shoulders, just as we stand on the shoulders of the heroes who went before us. You leave a formidable legacy. Davidson College is stronger and more courageous, wiser and more humane because you guys were here. Yet today is about more than what you've done. It's also about what's next. And I'm supposed to give you advice. But the usual things that people say at commencements seem all wrong. Reach beyond your grasp, seek a better truth, live in the moment, follow your heart, never give up. It's not that this is bad advice, it's just irrelevant. It's too simple, it's too generic, and it's too safe. It doesn't speak to what we do here at Davidson, and it won't help you out there in the world either. The world is vast. It's beautiful and wild. It is all before you. It is not a simple or a safe place. Out there, the past weighs heavily, conflict abounds, the future is a murky haze, and hopes can be elusive. The world is complicated. So instead of advice, which I don't have, what I'd like to do is speak to you from my heart, to Haley and Tony and Itsiri and Nate and Madison and all of you, to share a small observation that I hope will prove useful to you in your next chapter. Our society is fragmented, and we like it. Many in this country are demonstrating by the daily choices we make that we prefer to eat, pray, shop, study, and even at this point, get on airplanes with people who look a lot like us. What's really troubling about this is that we don't really seem to value pluralism or difference. We crave similarity. We avoid robust discussions. We often resist thinking about the complexities and challenges of crossing lines of class or race or religion or party. There are lots of potential explanations for why this is. People my age love to blame social media, but I want to point to something that is both a kind of a cause and an outcome of this. Societal fragmentation is happening in part because of how we are orienting ourselves towards one another and the expectations we bring when we engage one another in the world. Just think about it. We willfully misrepresent the points of view of people with whom we disagree. Armed with a cell phone, we willfully distort what actually happens just to make a point. When we're talking with strangers or with people with whom we might disagree, we listen for tells, signs, indicators that would let us put this person in a box. Is this person a gun owner, an immigrant? Is this person pro-life or pro-choice? Is this person for or against Obamacare? Our society loves the clarity of a litmus test. We want to classify everyone into categories, ally, alien, or enemy. Our conversations quickly become debates with predetermined positions to which we all immediately gravitate. Now, this is how many people in our country are choosing to engage with one another. It's combative, it's often disingenuous, and if you're a person like you guys who likes to learn, it is stultifyingly boring. At Davidson, we aspire to be different. Many of you, during your time here, have lived with people who think, pray, and vote differently from you. You've sought out this heterogeneity in the organizations that you've built. And guided by the example of our amazing faculty, you have engaged people across fields, discarding long-held assumptions and false truths, and devising new frameworks for old, intractable problems. Davidson is different in part because of our mission and our history. Our statement of purpose talks about developing humane instincts. Now, instincts can go in a lot of different directions. The survival instinct can lead you to fight against everyone you meet, or it could lead you to try to benefit from cooperation. To me, humane instincts means that in our initial, automatic, default posture to other people, we are open and generous, called not to judge or to label, but to connect, especially with those with whom we disagree, and even with those whose views we despise. When we orient ourselves towards others in this way, we stop putting people in neatly labeled boxes and instead honor their complexity. We learn why other people come to the conclusions they do. We learn why their views and practices are different from our own. We know that no single story can do justice to anyone. So here's a what if. What if, even away from this special community, what if we initially, automatically, by default, and as a matter of ingrained practice, what if we oriented ourselves initially towards others with openness and generosity? What if we initially engaged others not with suspicion or a desire to label or refute, but with empathy and the imperative to listen and understand? What if we, those of us who are lucky enough, privileged enough to spend time in this amazing place, what if we bravely carry these humane instincts out into the world? What if? So if I were to derive pithy advice from my small observation, it would go something like this. Live like a human being. There are limits to what humans can know, and truths we've always believed can turn out to be so wrong. No single story can do justice to the complexity of this world, and other people's stories can transform us if we listen and let them in. Approach other people through shared vulnerability. Begin not with suspicion, but with empathy, and you will come to know love. Live like a human being. Listen before you talk. Making change is not the same thing as making statements. To make change, you need to speak the language of the people you want to persuade. Only by listening can you figure out how to build a bridge from your position to those with whom you disagree. Their words are the material you need to build this bridge. You may give up in the end, some bridges can't be built, and some people will instantly burn them down the second you try. But don't assume that's how it's going to turn out from the get-go. Listen before you talk. Lay down your arms. Choose hope over fear. See the world as a place of abundance and wonder and promise. Believe in the future that you can't yet see. And no matter where your journey takes you, you are not alone. You carry all of us at this special place with you and in you forever. Our love goes where you go. I end with a Franciscan prayer. May God bless you with discomfort at easy answers, half-truths, and superficial relationships, so that you may live deep within your heart. May God bless you with anger at injustice, oppression, and exploitation of people, so that you may work for justice and freedom and peace. May God bless you with tears to shed for those who suffer from pain, rejection, hunger, and war, so that you may reach out your hand. And may God bless you with the foolishness to believe that you can make a difference in this world, so that you leave here and do what others claim cannot be done. Congratulations.
Good morning. Good morning, family and visitors and friends. Good morning, faculty. Good morning, heroes. I have the honor of presenting the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award. It is presented each year to a graduating senior and community member who demonstrate the highest standards of character, integrity, and service to others in their community. The award was established to honor New York lawyer Algernon Sidney Sullivan. His commitment to equality, access to education, and philanthropy grew as his career and professional reputation grew, and he expanded his efforts to ensure that all members of society enjoyed these same rights and privileges. At the recommendation of its Honorary Degrees Committee, the faculty have voted to award this year's Algernon Sidney Sullivan Student Award to Ariana Montero Colbert. As Ariana makes her way to the stage, as Ariana comes forward, I will begin describing her many accomplishments. Ariana, who goes by Anna, is a talented digital humanist and a sociologist in training. Letters of nomination uniformly describe her as a warm and welcoming student who has been a valued mentor, friend, and supporter to many students during her time at Davidson. In particular, Anna has taken her work as a mentor to first-year women of color very seriously and has built amongst them an incredibly robust network that spans emotional support and leadership development. One student mentored by Anna writes that moving to a new country and being so far away from family and friends has been difficult, but Anna has been an amazing source of understanding and support. Anna is a student who fully supports and helps other students even when she's doing a million other things, as one nominator said. Anna has also been very active on campus in many issues of justice, participating, for example, in local efforts to reduce the economic effects of racism. She was active in the Collegiate Alliance for Immigration Reform, co-founded the campus's Democratic Socialist Group, and was part of a reading group on Asian American Studies. Anna also co-founded a group on undergraduate research in the digital humanities. She co-sponsors its annual conferences and introduced many students to this important and exciting field of study. In addition, her work on campus with projects funded by Justice, Equality, and Community and the Davidson Archives have engaged an extraordinary number of first-year students. With her strong mentorship in support of first-year students, her selfless efforts to care for improving the college and local community, and her service in building networks of support for her peers and many other students, Ariana Montero Colbert exemplifies the spirit of humble service to others and fine personal qualities applied to daily living. Davidson College is therefore proud to present the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Student Award to Ariana Montero Colbert. At the recommendation of the Honorary Degrees Committee, the faculty have voted to award this year's Algernon Sidney Sullivan Community Award to John Mercer Woods. Would you please come to the stage? John Woods was born in Davidson and has served the Davidson community for decades. In the mid-1990s, John served as a leader on the town of Davidson's Land Plan Task Force. It yielded a method of forward-thinking planning that the town continues to employ. John served on the town's Board of Commissioners from 1997 to 2007. John then served 5 terms as mayor of Davidson from 2007 to 2017. He held these offices in a time of unprecedented change in our community, a time that brought many complicated challenges in issues of growth, transportation, affordable housing, and in balancing public and private interests. One nominator notes that John was unfailing in his determination to listen to people from every corner of our community, and only after he was sure all sides had been represented fairly would he make careful and thoughtful decisions. Another writes that John's generous spirit and his openness to the ideas of others were gifts that facilitated thoughtful deliberations on matters of consequence for the long-term future of Davidson. In addition to his work as an elected official, John has long played a leading role across many community institutions. He has served a number of times on the session of the Davidson College Presbyterian Church, lending his expertise in banking and finance. He has also served on boards of local nonprofits, such as the Davidson Housing Coalition, which is dedicated to creating and preserving affordable housing in the community, and the Ada Jenkins Center, which helps people in our community create lasting solutions for needs in health, education, and economic stability. He is also well known at the Pines Retirement Center for bringing his dog over weekly to give residents there time with a pet. John has long been a consistent friend and supporter of Davidson College as well, seeking ways for town and gown to make common cause for the greater good of our community. He's been a lifelong Davidson Wildcat supporter. As a young boy, he followed his father, the team doctor, down the sidelines during football games, serving as the unofficial water boy. Today, he continues a record of more than 20 years of volunteer service for the football team as the leader of the chain crew managing the signal poles on the sidelines. One nominator aptly notes, "Our college, our town, our community are greatly improved due to John's sustaining presence, his quiet leadership, and his generosity of time and spirit. John Woods embodies the humble service to others and fine spiritual qualities practically applied to daily living that are at the heart of this award. Davidson College is therefore pleased to present this year's Algernon Sidney Sullivan Community Award to John Woods."
It's now my privilege to present the 2019 Hunter Hamilton Love of Teaching Awards. The Hunter Hamilton Love of Teaching Award was established by Dr. James Presley Hamilton, Davidson College class of 1954, and his wife, Gray Hunter Hamilton, to honor their parents and to recognize the special joy and enthusiasm that are part of the teaching profession at Davidson. We welcome today Gray Hamilton and Isabel Hamilton Owen, who are here with us this morning. I'll now present the awards. This gracious, witty, and energetic professor has earned enduring student regard through a thoughtful, respectful, and encouraging teaching style. Students portray this faculty member as more than a favorite professor, with a relatable countenance and a brilliant mind, a balance of genius and humility, and a constant presence of joy, a mentor, an advocate for cultural diversity, and an inspiration for the aspiring. A former student wrote that this professor wants to know what excites you, where you see your life going, and generally what makes you tick, and then uses this info to help guide you in class, celebrate your birthday, congratulate you on an accomplishment, wish you well on a bad day, and tell you about the book that you just have to read. Students identify this professor's keen ability to pose questions that are tailored to meet students where they are and to push them towards deeper and more complex analysis as a particular teaching strength. One reflected, "The relative comfort I possessed while arguing positions and answering questions during my first year of law school was due, in large part, to the encouragement that I received to speak boldly and hold to the point that I felt needed to be made." Another student wrote, "This professor's desire to listen and to push me to stop at no ends for the things I most cared about gave me a refreshing sense of myself in the midst of my struggles." This faculty member's exceptional ability to create remarkably collaborative classrooms where open, critical, honest, and respectful feedback are the norm within rigorous examinations of important issues of race, gender, and colonialism from multiple perspectives. One student shared that this professor made us feel comfortable to discuss touchy topics and lean into discomfort, learning not only from the curriculum, but also more about our peers and ourselves. Another reflected that this professor's teaching opened me up to my own biases, prejudices, and misperceptions through deep care for me as her student. Another student revealed that a group of classmates continued to meet regularly long after the semester together had ended. Of this exceptionally accomplished scholar, one former student wrote, "I was rarely, if ever, able to pose a question to which she either didn't know the answer or had not already given considerable thought herself." This professor's extensive knowledge, however, does not make her enigmatic. Rather, it is because of her knowledge that she's able to take complex literary, linguistic, and sociocultural concepts and explain them in clear and applicable ways. Students describe the relationship they develop with this faculty member as a mentor who became a friend, a source of encouragement, the reason I left Davidson proud, strong, and confident, and the reason I am a writer. One student characterized the professor's overarching goal as to do justice to our characters and to our stories. This professor's profound influence extends well beyond her students, as evidenced by a Davidson staff member who shared that this professor built in me a love of writing, which I'm going to pursue regardless of what others think about me or believe. Moreover, as a U.S. State Department cultural ambassador, this professor has generously shared her award-winning writing with audiences around the world, including Panama, Kuwait, Turkmenistan, Chad, and India, to name a few. For your inspiring abilities to change your students in ways that surpass their limits, while also genuinely caring for them as individuals and championing the power of their stories, we are extremely honored to present the 2019 Hunter Hamilton Love of Teaching Award to you, Professor Brenda Flanagan. It is now my privilege to present the second Hunter Hamilton Love of Teaching Award. This teacher brings clarity to complex subject matter in a manner described as nothing short of magic. As one student described the classroom, this professor creates a safe space where students learn from one another and where all knowledge and experience is validated. This professor elicits insightful analysis from students as if to give anything less would be shameful. And yet you never feel ashamed because you're always encouraged to bridge the gap between your interests and the knowledge that lies ahead of you. Another student added, "I've never seen a teacher more adept at facilitating student discussion in the classroom." This teacher's passion and excitement for facilitating student discovery has them performing and achieving at levels that surprises even them. As one student remarked, "It was this professor's faith in me that pushed me to try harder." As a first-generation scholar, I never thought what I have accomplished at Davidson would have been possible, and I cannot thank this teacher enough. Another recalled, "I took only 2 courses with this professor and did not major or minor. I learned about language, culture, history, literature, art, poetry, and music, all in an introductory course. The experiences this professor made possible shaped my development as a citizen of the world and as a human being in ways that I continue to discover." This professor fuels the fire of both academic achievement and personal growth. One student observed, "This professor went above and beyond in every way to help me, all while doing something similar for dozens of other students at the same time." Another student stated, "If I ever feel like I want to give up, I think about this professor and immediately become galvanized to study more. I think about the research opportunities I was given. I think about attentive email correspondences. I think about this professor's intelligence, modesty, and everlasting encouragement. Thanks to this professor, I discovered a confidence in myself that transcends disciplines." Others observed this professor's exceptional abilities both as a mentor and a researcher. One student summarized her admiration. "As I look towards my own future, I would consider myself successful if I could be half the woman she is, as a scholar, author, mentor, and friend." Another wrote, "When I emailed a well-regarded professor at Duke with a question about my thesis, that professor responded, 'You don't need me. Your professor at Davidson is the undisputed expert in the field. You're lucky to have her.'" Students describe her enthusiasm as infectious and beyond encouraging, stating, "Every time I leave her office, I have renewed energy for my research." Or, "She loves practicing her grasp of multiple languages, and when passing her on campus, you can always expect a short conversation in French or Farsi or Arabic." Praise was constant regarding how this professor has changed the face of Davidson's campus through engagement in stewarding events by prominent authors, scholars, and artists from across the Arab world. Her attendance at weekly Arabic lunch tables and hosting regular Arabic dinners in her home. She has nurtured extracurricular programs such as Manasa, the Middle Eastern and North African Student Association, and inspired students to use their voices for the betterment of others in developing Davidson refugee support, all while simultaneously designing and implementing Davidson's major in Arab studies. As one nominator aptly concluded, "Dr. Jubin is the reason for the growing community of Arabic language learners and scholars coming to Davidson, and through her enthusiasm, dedication, and commitment to teaching, calling us to be the best version of ourselves." Please join me in celebrating 2019 recipient of the Hunter Hamilton Love of Teaching Award, Professor Rebecca Jubin.
Each year at commencement, the seniors with the highest cumulative grade point averages receive first and second honors. This year, we have a two-way tie for first honors. As I call the names of this year's recipients, would you please come to the platform to receive your awards? First honors for the class of 2019 go to Henry Lawrence Brooks and Kamran Qayyum Shabazz.
A mi madre y mi abuela, gracias por todo. Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian Flores. And it has been an honor to have served as the senior class president. I will present the class gift and briefly speak to our time here. The senior class gift is a donation campaign which exemplifies our class's connection to the many students who will come after us. This Davidson tradition highlights our class's commitment to the institution and to the values it aims to develop within all of us. The community we have built here over the past 4 years is unique, and the senior class gift serves to empower future classes to build their own, however which way they choose. The campaign this year was led by Grant Cole and Mason Rooney, and with the help of Gloria Fortuna, Megan Pottinger, and Casey Sutherland, the team was able to raise over $14,000 from the senior class and President Quillen. They reached 85% student participation and 50% commitment to give next year. These stats are incredible and could not have been achieved without their tireless effort. All of these donations will go towards the Fund for Davidson. This fund allows direct donations to access and affordability, experiential learning, athletics, the arts, and unrestricted support to any other area of need. The class gift to this fund allows us to immediately begin improving Davidson. A huge thank you to everyone who donated. And lastly, a thank you to everyone here this morning. What we have been able to accomplish as a class and as individuals is astonishing. We all came here to Davidson from different places with different goals, and we will soon leave here to different places to accomplish different goals. What brought us all together for a moment in the entirety of our lives was this place. May we confront every challenge we face with compassion, and may we continue to improve the world around us. Great job, everybody. Thank you.
Let my words be fire that modifies the immutable heart wood, which grows hard and cold in the hateful frost. The cold dead tree will know spring again, and when my words lost
In August, 4 members of our class of 2019 will graduate. We recognize them today, along with their classmates. Will all of our class of 2019 August graduates please rise? And please come forward as your name is called. Ricky Wayne Davidson, Jr. Wilson Andres Pava Ayala. Marjorie Christine Testa. Thomas Richard Yarbrough, Jr. Will those students who have completed the requirements for the Bachelor of Science degree please stand? President Quillen, I have the honor to present these students who, having fulfilled the requirements set by the faculty for the degree of Bachelor of Science, are now to receive their diplomas.
By the authority of the state of North Carolina, with the approval of the faculty and with the consent of trustees, I now confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Science with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereunto.
Madison Ely Akins Banman, cum laude. Victor Manuel Armenta Valdez, cum laude. Jose Manuel Balcazar Caldas. George Cobb Baldini, magna cum laude. Shannon Lee Ballard. James Michael Barnhill, magna cum laude and honors in physics. Alan Gifford Berry IV, honors in Hispanic studies. Nisha Ormila Busnet, in absentia. Noah Joseph Batkey, cum laude and honors in psychology. Matthew Daniel Begley. Matthew Jeffrey Murphy Bell, magna cum laude and honors in English. Alexander Abdul Ghani Barrow. Julian Vinuesa Bertini. John Lucas Bost, magna cum laude. Deyanira Trinity Bowers. Aaron Lee Braswell. Henry Lawrence Brooks, summa cum laude, first honor. Taylor Eliana Bury. Jeffrey Cornell Burton. Carolina Rebecca Casiceto. Chrisanne Mary Caffrey. Gavin Paul Campbell, cum laude. Tanner Jan Carlson, cum laude. Dylan Jacob Carmack. Alexandra Lynn Carpenter, cum laude. Kelsey Marie Carpenter. Anna Frances Catalanato. Gabrielle Helen Centenari. Mutian Chen, in absentia. Ruiming Chen, magna cum laude and honors in physics. Andy Yoonhyun Chun, cum laude. Wilson Landrum Clark. Natalie Bridget Connell, magna cum laude and honors in biology. Grace Maying Covelli, cum laude. Antoinette Ophelia Cozier. David Michael Danielson Jr. Alexander Matthew Dawes. Matthew Francis Days, cum laude. Allison Joy DeMoya, magna cum laude and honors in chemistry. Nicholas Breland de Massimo. Mi-Hung Duan, magna cum laude. Bridget Marie Donahue, cum laude. Cameron Mirtha Dove. Hannah Doyle, magna cum laude and high honors in neuroscience. Rebecca Grace Drake, cum laude and honors in psychology. Maya Hester Eggert. Sarah Catherine Eisenach, magna cum laude. Fatima Christy Enriquez, cum laude. Hannah Jolie Erb. Sarah Brady Etheridge, magna cum laude and honors in neuroscience. Andrew Martin Fay. Nicole Louise Fendler, magna cum laude and honors in chemistry and honors in German studies. Sebastian Flores. Katarina Dare Forbes, magna cum laude. Catherine Ridgway Franz, cum laude. Samuel George Frederick II, cum laude and honors in physics. Brendan Scott Fries. Clarissa Amber Fung. Ahana Ghosh, cum laude and honors in neuroscience. Abigail Nikiel Gibson, cum laude. Wilson Alexander Good. Megan Elizabeth Goodling, magna cum laude. Vance Allen Graves. Anna Sienna Grumman, cum laude. Mia Elizabeth Guzinski, honors in biology. Yuhang Han, magna cum laude in absentia. Megan Rebecca Hay, magna cum laude. Nicholas Liam Davis Herndon, magna cum laude. Jordan Alexander Hill. Mia Blakeney Hodges, magna cum laude and honors in environmental studies. Lucy Bunker Hollister, cum laude. Alana Rochelle Horton, cum laude. Langley Ruth Hoyt, cum laude. Alexis Lee Irish. Eleanor Ann Irving, cum laude. Lisette Vanessa Harkin. Rebecca Hagan Jenkins. Yangtze Jiang, magna cum laude. Hartley Grace Johnston, magna cum laude. William Stewart Jones. Jae Jun Kong. Nicholas Daniel Kennedy, cum laude. Wesley William Kerr. Jonathan Dezong Kim, cum laude. Song Jun Kim, in absentia. Virginia Murphy Kuntz. Sarah Jane Kopp, magna cum laude. Owen Michael Kuski, magna cum laude and honors in genomics. Andrew John Kruger Jr., magna cum laude. Natalia Kucher. Jackson Binks Lang, cum laude. Dagon Lee. Esteban Andres Leon Torres, magna cum laude and honors in physics. Austin Ty Leonard, magna cum laude. Kai Lee Lung. Alston Lee Lippert, magna cum laude. India Damrun Little. Heather Nicole Lowe. Simon Andrew Lowen, cum laude. Lillian Christine Lowry, cum laude and honors in environmental studies. Ryan Aiden Lundergan, cum laude. Melech Abad Maglasang. Kenneth Fuller Martin. Michael Alexander Matthews, cum laude. Adam Ali Merchant. Andrew Anderson Miller, cum laude. Nicholas Christian Minanov. Jonah Richard Mishi, cum laude. Stephen Cody Mitchell, cum laude. Andrei Molchanov, cum laude. Sullivan Ann Molinek. Logan Ansel Ladis Morris. Tanya Muliraran Nayer. Siri Christina Norris. Abigail Joy North, cum laude. Sheila Camila Nunez. Brian Lucas O'Gara, cum laude. Isabella Kathleen Pilato, cum laude and honors in psychology. Michael Joseph Perugia, cum laude. James Sachs Plout II. Mohammed Umar Qureshi, magna cum laude. Anna Karine Ramgren, magna cum laude. Elia Gabrielle Ramirez, cum laude. Lauren Noema Redfern. Jenna Susan Reed, cum laude and honors in biology. Matthew Lucas Regan, cum laude. Cole Presley Reynolds. John Michael Reynolds. Brooke Allison Riley. Kyla Lynette Rowland. Celia Mason Rooney, cum laude. Frida Chapkuri Rotich, cum laude. Anna May Rupp, magna cum laude. Logan Alexander Russell, magna cum laude and honors in chemistry. Rachel Elizabeth Salter. Elizabeth Geary Sasser. Teresa Morgan Shaberg, cum laude. Grace Elizabeth Schlicht. Abigail Noah Shork. Reina Paula Segovia. John Mitchell Shumway, cum laude. Catherine Louise Singletary. David Patrick Sisson, cum laude. Mitchell Thorne Smith, in absentia. Sydney Stephen Sorrell, cum laude. Kiana Leilani Spate, cum laude. Jonathan David Swan. Emma Caroline Taylor, cum laude. Allison Marie Taylor. Kendall Lane Thomas, magna cum laude. William Thurston. Richie Leon Tovar. Emily Ann Uffman. Graham Parker Wade. Mary Elizabeth Walters. Maya Danielle Webb. Ryan Hoffert Welch, in absentia. Joseph Ryland Wheelis. Niall Luke Williams, cum laude and high honors in computer science. Savannah Elizabeth Williams, magna cum laude and high honors in mathematics. Victoria Hope Williams, magna cum laude and honors in biology. Nathan Thomas Wynn. Bingwei Xu, cum laude in absentia. Kenneth Matthew Sho, magna cum laude. That's Shu. Kenneth Matthew Shu. Sire Shu, magna cum laude and honors in environmental studies. Emily Chenxing Yang, magna cum laude. Singun Yu. Singon Yu. Yuhan Zhou, cum laude. Will those students who have completed the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Arts please stand? President Quillen, I have the honor to present to these students who, having fulfilled the requirements set by the faculty for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, are now to receive their diplomas.
By the authority of the state of North Carolina, with the approval of the faculty and with the consent of the trustees, I now confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereunto.
Madison Hope Abbott, cum laude. Eli Rowe Abernethy, magna cum laude. Emma Claire Bell Abrams, cum laude. Carolina Lee Adams, cum laude. Signe Loring All. Kaylin Belitsky Alexis, cum laude. Walid Khaled Alkour. Layan Nael Anaptawi. Odalise Anchando. Solome Araya. Valerie Arias, cum laude. Andrew Asher, cum laude. Nina Khan Austin, cum laude. Molly Grace Bear. Marcos Alberto Wasera. Nellie Doris Barlow. Max Thomas Bazin, cum laude. Ashley Marie Benke, cum laude. Julie Catherine Bennett, magna cum laude and high honors in economics. Annie Steele Beresheim. Connor Alexander Bevan, cum laude. Lasha Bajashvili. Emily Claire Biggerstaff, cum laude. Thomas Michael Blasey Jr. Catherine Ellen Bach, cum laude and honors in political science. Matthew Carroll Bodie, cum laude. Samuel Yates Booth, in absentia. Louisa Riley Boswell, magna cum laude. William Corte Bochway. Christopher Deal Brooks, magna cum laude and honors in political science. Samantha Nicole Bundy. Lillian Maud Burdick, cum laude. Courtney Renee Byler, cum laude. Wells Huntington Burns, Jr. George Tsai, magna cum laude. Nathan Ryan Campbell, cum laude. Edward James Canny. Julia Marie Rapp Cardwell, magna cum laude and honors in environmental studies. Kevin Craig Carlock. William Hoke Carlton. Francis Scalia Carroll. Kaya Nichelle Nicole Carter, cum laude. Want to get the right one. Brennian Bergen Cassidy. Kessler Lynn Catterall. Sean Lewis Caveney, magna cum laude. Alan Clay Jr., cum laude. Sierra Renee Cockrell. Alexa Joanna Cole, honors in English. George Edward Coleman IV. Aiden Nordahl Conroy, cum laude. Noah Balaj Constantine, cum laude, and honors in economics. Rebecca Alessandra Contreras. Corey Isaac Coppolo. Abigail Catherine Corcoran, cum laude and honors in gender and sexuality studies. Catherine Laney Craig, cum laude. Lauren Marie Crane, cum laude. Sean Patrick Cuskley. David Pasquale D'Amico, cum laude. Olivia Coral Daniels, magna cum laude and high honors in history. Graham McMenemy Davis, cum laude. Fanon Denight Debasai. Stefan Gerard DeShazo. Samantha Karina Dolly, cum laude. Christine Diaz. Samuel Wortham Wyatt Dibble. Morgan Callahan Dreyer. Savannah Jean Dukes, magna cum laude and high honors in political science. Bennett Garner Dunbar. Laura Carolyn Dunnigan, cum laude. Annabelle Christina Durham. Hudson Bridger Eglin, cum laude. Chinedu Nathan Ekwu. Mohamed Jake Ibrahim El Zaltan, magna cum laude in absentia. Luis Jacobo Abuaitis Elizalde. Maitland Stewart Engelby, cum laude. Sarah Jane Eskra, cum laude. John Lewis Evans, honors in German studies. Margaret Claire Farrell, cum laude. Anna Louise Ferdinand, cum laude. Alex Reed Fichter, cum laude. Eve Estelle Fickett. Gloria Gibson Fortuna, magna cum laude. Sydney Rose Fox, cum laude. Anna Christina French, cum laude. Abigail Bess Baruch Fry, cum laude and high honors in public health. Danielle Elizabeth Gabriel, cum laude. Gerald Joseph Gallinghouse III. Matthew Powers Gandier, magna cum laude. Allegra Generakis, magna cum laude and and honors in philosophy. James Fallon Gertie. Samuel Andre Giberga. Charles Morris Goldberg, cum laude. Itziri Adeneli Gonzalez Barcenas, cum laude. Jennifer Chapman Goodell, cum laude. Bradford Zachary Grant. Preston Xavier Grace. Luke Bradley Gray. Maximo David Guerrieri. Yasha Swinney Pratna Gunawartana. Michael Anthony Hall, magna cum laude and honors in economics. Haley Louise Hamblin, cum laude. Casey Lynn Hammett, cum laude and honors in philosophy. Maeve Caitlin Hammond, magna cum laude and honors in English. Yonjae Han. Daniel John Hansen Jr. David Madison Hardaway Jr. Clara Elizabeth Hairgrog, magna cum laude. Nicholas McNabb Harris, magna cum laude. George Henry Haskins. Jacob Hopkins Haythorne, cum laude. Jacob Hopkins Haythorne, cum laude. Did I just say that? Yep. I just said that. Congratulations. Madeline Ann Henner, magna cum laude. Jacob Alexander Hostetler. Joshua Todd Hudson. Gregory Adam Hunt. James Carey Herson. Dylan Hyman. Crystal Sierra Ibarra. Jalen Nyamke Jackson, cum laude and high honors in Africana Studies. Lindsay Nicole Jarrell, cum laude. Stephanie Jane Jeffers, cum laude. Matthew Robert Jennings. Joshua Daniel Johnson, cum laude. Nicholas Lachlan Johnson, cum laude and high honors in global literary theory. Daisy Louise Jones, cum laude. Eric Bradley Jones Jr. Joel Patrick Jordan III. Elon Clayman Kanan. Athena Maria Calamares. Martha Kapazoglu, cum laude. Alyssa Madeline Katz, magna cum laude and honors in English. Alif Kaya. Jack Bolton Kemp, cum laude. Jack Patrick Kennedy. Matthew Brendan Kennedy. Savannah Rose Kennedy, cum laude. Avery Francis Thomas Kerwin, cum laude. Brianna Danielle King. Lila Alexandra King. Lawrence Omotayo King. Madison Carr Kinsey. Leonie Gabrielle Kukio, magna cum laude and honors in German studies. Bethany Marie Kirkpatrick, magna cum laude and high honors in history. Kristen Alida Kisa. Angelica Darletha Knight. Ryan Keith Knoll. Robert Grantham Cole, magna cum laude. John Alexander Kolenchik, in absentia. Fiona Georgia Coulterman, cum laude. Dushan Kovacevic. Alexander Ryan Kreger. Drew Mead Cromer. Alexa Ann Landsberger, honors in communication studies. Caitlin Blake Lawler. Matthew James Labar, magna cum laude and high honors in philosophy. Justin Taylor Lebeck, cum laude. Samuel Dimitri Levine. Sawyer Buckner Levy, magna cum laude. Anne Michelle Lewis. Esther Larison, in absentia. Chira Lee, cum laude. Sicha Lee, magna cum laude. Olivia Grace Liccione, magna cum laude and honors in English in absentia. Victoria Marie Long, cum laude. Emily Rebecca Lord, cum laude. Mitchell Paul Losito. Emily Jane Lynch, cum laude. Justine Elise Lyon. Anita Benny Machanical, cum laude. Sydney Chase Mack, cum laude. Aman Madan, magna cum laude. Christopher Jalen Madden, cum laude. Bryant Dixon Madison, magna cum laude. Berta Ann Maisel, magna cum laude. Aaron Glenn Major, magna cum laude. William Pearson Malloy, cum laude. Martin Oliver Molutke, magna cum laude. Casey Lee Marjoram, magna cum laude and honors in music and honors in English. Sava Reed Martishev. Quinn Michael Mazengill, magna cum laude and honors in art. Eric Allen Matherly, honors in Russian language and literature. Robert James Maxfield, cum laude. Thomas Matthew May. Adrian Harry Mayans, in absentia. William Douglas McClelland. Derek B. McKinney. Elizabeth Marsh McLawhorn. Leah Jane Mell, magna cum laude and honors in English. Isaac Davis Mervis, magna cum laude and honors in music. Samuel Quay Messick. Elizabeth Goodwin Millar, cum laude. Erica Christine Miller. Sophia Lily Mills, magna cum laude. Sophie Evelyn Mills. Simran N. Mithwani, cum laude. Tegan Rose Monaco, cum laude. Ariana Montero Colbert. Jessica Mu Young, cum laude. Rebecca Lauren Moody, magna cum laude and honors in sociology. Emily Grace Morgan. Charles Robert Brandon Morris. Alfred Jeffrey Nadaf, cum laude. Mira Kanti Nagaraj, magna cum laude. Blair Tinsley Nagel, cum laude. Alexander Raymond Keyshawn Nichols, magna cum laude. Allison Lily Nichols, cum laude. Andrew Melton Nielsen. Claire Catherine Newsma, magna cum laude. Nicholas Hamilton Nolting. Leah Eugenie Nortier. Naira Oberoi, magna cum laude. Zamir Lorenzo O'Day. Karen Brianna Raven Odom. Caroline Elizabeth Okel, magna cum laude and high honors in economics. Jose Carlos Olvera. Daniel James O'Malley Jr., magna cum laude. Charlie Stevens Orner. Delaney Elizabeth O'Shea. Olivia Ann Ostlin, cum laude. Anthony Virgil Palumbo, honors in philosophy. Eddie Nicholas Pearson. Grant Stephen Paycheck, magna cum laude. Jackson Conway Perrone. Aiden James Peterson. Tatiana Leila Pless. J. Juana Polly, cum laude and high honors in Africana Studies. Matthew David Porcelli. Megan Townley Pottinger. Miles McLeod Powell, magna cum laude. Emily Alexander Privet. Guanming Chao, magna cum laude in absentia. Samuel Olaf Reinertsen. Coleman Benson McAdams Richards, magna cum laude. William Hazel Bristow Richards, cum laude. Seth James Rinkovich. Clay Martin Robinson. Sabrina Bailey Rodriguez. Cum laude for Sabrina. Thank you. Flannery Jane Rokeby Jackson, magna cum laude. Harriet Pauline Rollins. Brooke Wells Rosenblum, magna cum laude and honors in public health. Daniel Foster Rosenblum. Lindsay Grayson Ruffalo. Jackson Donnelly Rumor, cum laude. Daniel Jacob Runk. Anthony Lee Ryback, cum laude. Isabel Jane Sakalaris, magna cum laude and honors in English. John Francis Salt, magna cum laude. Andres Alexis Sanchez. Henry Lee Saucy. Keelan Liesel Scharbach. Megan Bridget Scholvink. Dana Lee Schrock. Jack Kevin Scott, cum laude. Serena Louise Sewell, cum laude. Sophia Taylor Scroy. Kamran Kayum Shabuz, summa cum laude and first honor. Taylor Allen Ship, cum laude. Bryce Nathaniel Simmons. Juan Felipe Cintes Paso. Emma Bailey Slater, cum laude. Charlotte Elise Smith, cum laude. Henry Matthew Quinn Smith. Megan Veronica Smith. William Parker Smith. Anthony Yair Solis Cruz, cum laude. Hannah Katura Summerland, cum laude. Daniel Joseph Spear. Kristen Deborah Stark, cum laude. Severine Ariella Steer, magna cum laude. Margaret Lily Stockdale, cum laude. Henry Good Stockwell, cum laude. Julia Louise Storch, magna cum laude. Timothy Everett Stroud, magna cum laude and high honors in philosophy. Buar Su, magna cum laude. Mohammed Isman Suhel, cum laude. Casey Robert Sutherland, cum laude and honors in economics. Usama Abbas Sayed. Brooke Elizabeth Tobolsky. Yasemin Teglash, magna cum laude and honors in sociology. William Craig Thomas, magna cum laude and honors in economics. Claire Weatherby Thompson, magna cum laude. Samantha Paige Pauline Thompson. Zachary Swoboda Verano, magna cum laude and honors in philosophy. Thomas Stafford Waddill, magna cum laude and honors in English. Cole Johnson Warlick, cum laude. Jordan Javonte Watkins. Lucas Furman Hancock Wheels, magna cum laude and honors in English. Victor Allen Kenneth Weeks, cum laude. Matthew Charles Wellington. Jonathan Brainerd White, cum laude. Jonathan Scott Weirman, cum laude. Emma Wilbur, magna cum laude and high honors in Russian studies. Amelia Moore Willingham, cum laude. Emma Alden Wilson. Jackson Elliott Wood, magna cum laude and honors in history. Sean Finley Wright. Joyu Shao, magna cum laude. Caroline Holt Yarborough, magna cum laude. Terry Alexander Zervos. Perry Catherine Zollicoffer, cum laude. Alexandros Thomas Zimnis, cum laude. Congratulations to all our graduates.
Okay, we're coming near the end here. The last thing that I have the privilege of doing is the charge. So for those of you who are parents, don't worry, it's not a financial charge. Probably gotten enough of those. But our charge goes as follows. This degree admits you to the company of those known to have enjoyed in unusual measure the privilege of scholarly training and liberal learning. Accept this degree as a sacred trust, the emblem of your obligation to serve, hold it with honor to yourself, in loyalty to your alma mater, and in fidelity to God, to your country, and to humankind. Please stand as the chorale seniors will come forward and lead us in the alma mater.
Our
Let us pray. Merciful Creator, bless us and keep us. Look with favor upon us as we go our separate ways. Be our guide throughout the sacred journey of our lives, that we may walk in paths of honor, compassion, faithfulness, and truth. And grant to each of us enduring hopefulness, peace, and loving kindness this day and always. To you be glory now and forever. Amen. So y'all can celebrate now, seniors. If you want to